there, everyone. It's Catherine here, and I'm here to talk about three different apps to promote inquiry-based learning through the Big Six model. I first wanted to start talking to you about Eisenberg's Big Six model and the six different steps of inquiry learning. The first one is task definition, information-seeking strategies, location and access, use of information, synthesis, and then evaluation. Now, these six steps are what are used to find good information for a project and then evaluate at the end whether or not you did things effectively and efficiently. So let's take a quick look at the Big Six model. So again, it's a process model for information problem solving. It's systematic process to find, use, apply, and evaluate the information. And again, it was developed by Mike Eisenberg and Bob Berkowitz. The six steps, as I've already mentioned, are to be used in order. However, you can go back through them if you find yourself kind of getting off track. So just because you've gotten to number 3, for example, doesn't mean you can't go back and start again at task definition. Always revise in order to find the best result. And that's what that evaluation step is for. It's really going through, making sure you've done things the most effective and efficient way so that you get to the best results. So first off, I want to give a huge shout out to Surrey Schools, which is the district that I work in, because at least during COVID, they've worked tirelessly to create some digital resources for our students. Students can go onto that site and they can find lots of different options for like science and socials and different resources for different projects. Here is a little layout of what they look like, and you can actually filter it by grade level and you can filter it by subject level. So there are so many things that kids can use, and these are a lot of their apps and desktop programs that you can use depending on what you're working on. Now, getting into the stages of inquiry that I want to look at today, I actually wanted to talk to you guys first about information seeking strategies. Now, these information seeking strategies are meant to identify the resources, and the questions that you need to ask yourselves are, where do you start looking for information? Who can I talk to for the information? And what are the best resources to use? Now, the app I want to talk to you about information seeking strategies is called Kiddle. So Kiddle is a safe and virtual search engine that kids are able to use. This is a search engine based off of Google. It's actually created by Google. However, it intentionally makes things safe for kids. So it blocks profanity and questionable words. It blocks like promotion of drugs or any kind of nudity. You are able to find things about alcohol and drugs. However, it's all educational. So if you're doing like a research project on drugs, for example, and like the effects it could have on your life, you can use this search engine to find good results without it bringing up like horrifying photos or without it bringing up like websites that could lead you to find them, for example. So it's a really, really great app that kids can use so that they know that what they're looking at is credible and safe. That's why I particularly like it. Now, this app can be used for K to 12, but I've used it a lot in elementary myself with my grade 4s, especially doing stuff on Canadian history. You don't want to know what I found when kids search up beaver fur. Moving on to the next inquiry stage, I want to talk to you about the use of information. So our use of information app that we're going to be using today is actually called EasyBib. And when I was thinking about this one, I was just like, okay, what kind of information do we find? Will the information answer the question? How do I write notes? And is the information reliable? Now, I really want to focus on these last 2 points because a lot of people have problems with these two, and then they have problems figuring out how to cite it. So the app called EasyBib, it does have a free version and it can be used on just a web-based platform. But if you want like really complex features, then it is unfortunately you do have to pay for it. But what I really like is it takes your source and it tells you either whether it's reliable, whether it's not, whether it's peer reviewed or whether it's not. It checks for plagiarism. It checks for grammatical errors, which a lot of students have problems with. And then it can take all of your stuff, all of your sources, and it can help you form a bibliography, which I know, especially in high school in the later years, a lot of students struggle with. They have a lot of problems. They get overwhelmed with just the bibliography, which is why I think this app would be great for students just to find that, or just to be successful in that use of information stage of this inquiry model. Then the next stage that I wanted to talk to you guys about is called the synthesis stage. And this is all about how do you fit them together. Now, if you look at Bloom's apps, you can find so many apps great for creating. And I honestly had trouble choosing just one, which I'll tell you about in just a second.